The courtroom was silent, except for the smug, cruel laughter of the woman who had once promised me forever. My wife, radiant and smug, held a baby in her arms, the unmistakable evidence of her betrayal. She didn't even bother hiding it. The judge's gavel hit the table, but I barely noticed. Every eye in that room seemed to mock me, whispering the unspoken truth. I had been made a fool. That smile, that arrogant little smirk, was the spark that lit a fire I had buried deep in my chest. And I swore, in that exact moment, that when the dust settled, she would pay for every lie, every secret, every stolen piece of my life. I walked out of the courtroom that day with nothing but the raw taste of humiliation and rage. The world I thought I had built, my home, my marriage, my dignity, was reduced to ashes in a single moment. The crowd's whispers followed me, their sympathy for me thin and awkward, like a hand extended too late. My mind was a battlefield, torn between disbelief and fury. How had I missed the signs? The late nights, the secret phone calls, the excuses? She had played me like a master, and now everyone knew it. I didn't go home that night. I drove aimlessly, letting the city lights blur into lines of anger. My mind replayed every memory with surgical precision, dissecting the lies. And that baby, her little secret, was the cruelest joke of all. I could almost hear her voice, soft and triumphant. You never even knew, did you? Sleep became impossible. Each night, I lay awake imagining how to dismantle her carefully curated life. At first, it was just fantasies, subtle sabotage, ruining her image in small, almost undetectable ways. But as days turned into weeks, the fantasies hardened into a plan. I watched her from afar, noting her routines, her friends, even her new lover's weaknesses. Every piece of information was fuel, and every smile she threw at the world became a dagger twisting in my chest. I didn't care about the law anymore. I didn't care about public opinion. I only cared about her fear, making her feel the same helplessness she had made me feel. I began quietly collecting debts of her deceit. Phone records, receipts, hidden accounts. My world shrank to this singular obsession, turning her triumph into ashes. And with each passing day, my patience sharpened, my mind colder, my focus unrelenting. The first step in my revenge would not be obvious. She thought she was untouchable, laughing at the memory of my shattered pride. She thought I was broken. She thought I was done, and that overconfidence would be her undoing. Months passed, and I became a ghost in her world. I worked in silence, manipulating circumstances while maintaining a facade of normalcy. My revenge was no longer a thought. It was a life-consuming mission. I infiltrated her social circles, learned her vulnerabilities, and watched her happiness grow as if mocking me. She had no idea the storm brewing just beyond her carefully painted walls. I struck with precision. Small incidents at first, misplacing important documents, whispering rumors that slowly eroded her trust in friends and colleagues. She began to stumble socially. Nervous glances replaced confident smiles. But these were just the sparks. My real move required patience and timing, and I had perfected the art of waiting. Every success in my plan fed my obsession. Each minor humiliation I inflicted was like a sugar rush, addictive and intoxicating. My nights were spent in careful plotting, every decision cold, calculated, without mercy. And the closer I got, the more her arrogance blinded her. She was unaware that her empire of lies was fragile and that her laughter would soon be drowned in panic. Then came the turning point. One night, through careful maneuvering, I discovered a secret she thought buried. A financial fraud she had been orchestrating, siphoning funds from her employer and friends. Her smirk had a price, and I held the ledger. The irony was perfect. The woman who had humiliated me was now entirely in my control. With one push, I could ruin her life entirely. But my revenge demanded theatrical precision. I didn't want a simple collapse. I wanted the kind of destruction that mirrored the humiliation she had inflicted on me. I set my traps meticulously, planting evidence, manipulating situations, and waiting for the perfect moment. Meanwhile, she continued her life in ignorance, laughing at my absence, thinking her victory complete. The day of reckoning arrived quietly, almost anticlimactically. She received an unexpected visit at her office, official-looking, tense. Papers, questions, whispers of legal trouble, financial collapse. The empire she had built with lies began to crumble around her. I watched from a distance as panic replaced her smiles, as confusion replaced her arrogance. She was powerless now, scrambling, desperate. I could have confronted her, screamed at her, told her every detail of my torment. But no, I wanted the silence to speak louder than any words. Watching her crumble without uttering a sound was sweeter than any confrontation. Her friends abandoned her, her reputation shattered, and every ounce of joy she had displayed at our divorce was replaced with fear and regret. And as I walked past the remnants of the life she had stolen from me, I finally felt the bitter satisfaction of victory. I had been the architect of her downfall, the silent predator who had waited until the moment was perfect. There was no forgiveness, no redemption, no moral compromise. Only the cold, unyielding truth. She had underestimated the man she had betrayed. Her tears, her panic, her desperation, all of it belonged to me. And in that moment, I understood the final lesson of betrayal and revenge. Sometimes, the sweetest justice is the one you never have to explain. Moral of the story. Betrayal is a fire best extinguished in the cold silence of calculated revenge.